Hello, you all. This is Dr. Silverman. Thank you for joining me. This podcast is about you. Each and every one of us holds the remote control to our health and our happiness. Thank you for joining me. This is my honor. It's my first podcast. The honor is, today I am interviewed by an amazing Karen Schenk, who actually is the owner and the president of Iconium Media, the company that helped me to start learning and being introduced to social media. So in years, Karen and I became friends. But that friendship not only evolved around business, it started evolving around health. And it started evolving around food. However, again and again, I'm so grateful to Karen and to her staff because they are the ones that making my podcast real. Thank you, Karen, for interviewing me. Thank you for opening the doors.
Well, thank you, Dr. Sveta. This is such an incredible gift to be with you today. We have truly become friends. And in our early days, when you would talk about health, I honestly didn't understand a lot of the things you were talking about. And I didn't know why you love blueberries the way you do. And I looked at your food and went, she's missing out on great bad food. And I've realized that your food, the way you eat, is so incredible. And you can actually acquire a taste to love whole, clean, healthy food.
That's awesome. But that's an evolution. See, the thing about, per se, this podcast is, guys, I'm not pushing you to do this or to eat this or that food. It's your life. It's your choice and it's your decision. I'm here to just maybe explain and guide and obviously hear my passion in why this or the other food is so good for your body, for your health. But every one of us is in evolution, and I'm pretty sure today we're going to be talking about foods and farmers market.
Well, yes. One of the most incredible things is to spend time with Dr. Sveta at a farmer's market. So Old Strathcona, many of you know, is just this incredible farmer's market. We love going there. And I don't know if you're like me, but it's a little bit overwhelming. There's so many stands and there's so many things, from super healthy food to not such healthy food, that I often didn't know what to buy and would walk around. And so one day I met Dr. Sveta there, and oh my gosh, following her is like a tornado through a very missional intention of knowing exactly what she wants. And oh my word. So where do I buy kale? What kale do I buy? And she knew everything. So tell us, how do you know what to buy at the farmer's market? It's amazing.
I love the phrase missional intention, because that's exactly what I am. I love shopping, but I'm on a mission at the farmer's market, but my day is very structured. So I happen to develop relations in years. So to me, every Saturday morning starts with farmer's market if I'm in town. That's a part of my routine and ritual. It's almost religious to me to go to the farmer's market. So in years, I develop relations with the farmers and also build the knowledge. And I keep telling, I love to support local farmers. We all need to survive, and they do an amazing job. Whether it's raising a very free-range, very clean pigs. They're a beautiful pig stand. There's an amazing bison stand. For example, I have a dog. So I'm buying food from the bison state, but I know how these animals are kept. And the same thing applies to fruits and vegetables. Karen said, yeah, we both go for blueberries. I am addicted to blueberries. I don't hide it. I love blueberries. So, and my take on the local farmers is how clean do they grow the produce? How much love do they put in their produce? I also love the way they communicate with me per se. If they're friendly, I see that kind of positive energy. I want to buy from them. And also the money is an issue because I actually think that farmers market is very reasonable. And in years you develop to know the vendors. So I kind of know who is a little overpriced and who is very, very reasonable. So for example, now guys, we are just in the beginning of the spring. So all of us are nutritionally depleted because we're coming from winter. So we're depleted in some vitamins, in some minerals. And finally, I always go through the stands this time of the year and ask, when is the color green coming? Because the green is the essence of spring life. This is microgreens, these little sprouts that are full of life. And now if you go to the farmer's market, you will start enjoying this fresh spinach or the fresh micro broccoli or the fresh micro kale, because the kale is not there yet. But these microgreens, they are loaded.
Okay, so I'm going to interrupt you. So I'm following you. I just see, I'm looking at the price. I look at, okay, here's broccoli. What, to get the best price and the best product, do I need to ask them, do you have microgreen? Is it, what are the questions? Let's just pretend I don't know anything, which is probably not pretending.
No, you're pretending because you are very, 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 very nutritionally knowledgeable. But absolutely, if you are a newbie, ask. You gotta ask. Never hesitate to ask. The more you ask, the less you know. The more I ask, the less I know. So I asked and I asked and I asked.
So another newbie question. Yes. I come into the farmer's market. Are the tables nearest the door the best ones I should be buying from?
Not necessarily. I think it depends how they are assigned. So I just go to the vendors per se, and then they migrate them. So for example, there is a beautiful stand for teas. Very nice. I don't buy teas in a packet. I buy teas in the form of a tea leaves. So not only I'm not drinking and enjoying the taste of the paper, but I'm actually steeping and brewing the tea, and I know, and I ask them, is this tea organic? And she may say no, but it is sustainably harvested. Great. And then they always let you smell the aroma. So then I resonate or I don't resonate. But they locate that stand all the time. And then they also introduce new stands. So now there will be new produce vendors. And the thing is, some stuff actually is not bad, what you have. So at this stage, you may have microgreens and you will see them because you will ask for microgreens, for example. They will say, oh, we don't have them, but that stand over there, and they can point to you. Everybody knows everyone there. So you can ask, where can I get some? So they will point where they're located. So that's fine. But the thing is, for example, now people say, oh, there is nothing to eat in Alberta. There's nothing local. Well, that's not true at all. Even if this cabbage is still like last year cabbage, it's still a cabbage which is full of nutrients. Same applies to last year carrots. All this produce, it's very, very valid. There are no excuses.
Okay, so you get to the farmer's market. Again, I've watched you. You're very, very, very focused on what you're getting. You know exactly which items you need. You have exactly enough bags and packages to put all these things in. Give me the Coles notes. What's your grocery list when you get there? You know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah, I know exactly what I'm getting. I need my microgreens. So tomorrow, I know that I'm getting first carrots. However, to get first carrots, you either need to pre-order them or you need to be there early. So I pre-order them. Greens. And the greens are going to be now microgreens, and there will be already bags of spinach. I will get my first carrots. So that the first thing. Then I'm moving along. I am gluten-free. I choose to be gluten-free. However, there is a beautiful stand with an absolutely amazing bread. the guy pours his soul. The starter is 3 days. So he ferments this bread for it's properly made, baked bread. So I buy it as a present, actually, for my neighbors, beautiful neighbors, but I also get it for my husband. That's one row. So I move along. Who is on this row? So then the next stand on this row is my beautiful Russian friend with an amazing sauerkraut. She makes nostalgic Russian sauerkraut, which is like delicious. So that goes. So then I move along. What do I need? I need bell peppers and I need tomatoes. And I also will see what's on that stand, some cucumbers, some actually other greens that are farmhouses, greenhouses. And that's a greenhouse farming. But how do I know? Because I'm like, oh, it's a hydroponic. Oh, I'm not going to buy hydroponic, God forbid. But then I talk to the guys. I know what they use. I know what kind of feed they use. They use the organic type feed, but they also use artisanal water. So, and then that produce was on the vine yesterday. So this is the freshest tomatoes, because I'm not bashing commercial stores, but you can go to superstore and try to aim for organic tomatoes. I actually don't know what year these tomatoes were harvested. That's number one. And number two, they have never been harvested in a ripe shape. And if they're not ripe, they're not nutritionally correct. Basically, off the topic, one thing that you should eat unripe is bananas. Unripe green bananas are amazing, what is called prebiotic. It's an amazing food. It's undigestible fiber. It's an amazing food for your microgut. So that's my next stand, and then I go around, and my next stand are the fruits. I need to get my apples. So that's my apples, and then I keep forgetting I need to feed my dog. So I buy bison scraps. I don't buy bison cuts, but she has dog food. And this is free-range bison scraps, like a liver and whatever she mixes it in. It's nutritious stuff, and it's an amazing food for my boy. And then basically that's it. I'm done.
Well, you're not I'm done. On a mission. I know what you do after that. You sit down with your blueberries.
And have a conversation with you.
Yeah, with your water or your tea, you've got it in your thermos, and it's a lovely time. And then,
but that's a whole thing, because a visit to the farmer's market with a friend, it's what is called tufa.
Okay,
it's a tufa. Tufa means I have you to get, to have a visit with you. And to enlighten myself, to get that absolutely loving, positive energy with a friend, because otherwise we don't have time.
We don't have
time.
You
are 24/7, and I am 24/7. Yeah. We are very structured, scheduled, and targeted. This is our time. Yeah. Tufa, and then we bought an amazing stuff for our body. Yeah. But so happiness. So going to the market, it's not just food. But it's a happiness to see those people with smiles. You see people with smiles, and you also see, per se, some people that kind of got to life. They see life. I see people in a wheelchair. I see people with some, these canes and stuff, because their disease send them a message. I need to clean my life. And they are starting to clean their life, starting with the most important thing. One of the most important thing is mind. Second most important thing is foods. It's not the pills. It's what we put in our body.
So that is incredible. And I do love that time together. And a freebie from me is, it is so good for you.
I can tell you, blueberries are coming soon.
Know. You need to tell me for sure what day. I will be there. I actually learned something from you. I'm like, what do you do with your blueberries? Because she buys a lot of blueberries. She just puts the open box into her freezer, and can just scoop them out as needed, just like I would my ice. It's amazing.
I buy stuff in season.
Yeah.
And then I don't have time to really per se, I try to simplify things. Meaning that my freezer is great. I know where these blueberries are coming from. And I know that being in the freezer, actually the chemicals and stuff are going to dissipate. So it's very simple. I don't have time for preservation. I also don't eat sugar. So the blueberries, the box, out from the car, on the kitchen table, from the kitchen table, into the deep freezer. And when I need it, in fact, now I can't find organic blueberries. It's not there yet. Even my favorite Costco doesn't have them. So I still have the frozen blueberries. That's what I do.
That's such an amazing trick. I love it.
And the thing is that then the trick is how you thaw blueberries. That's a trick, because you kind of want to preserve the texture.
Right.
You don't want them mushy. So you take and you, let's say, put some into the container, and you put container in the fridge. That's it. You do nothing. No heat, no nothing. And very slow thawing in the fridge is going to preserve them. They taste amazing, and the texture is not the fresh ones, but it's pretty good.
That's amazing. So this is incredible. Again, for anyone that's fortunate to watch you at the farmers market and even to hear this, it's an education, because you learn different things about different foods. And I love knowing, no, don't get that kale, get this kale. And well, then why? I want to understand the differences, and you're so great at explaining why.
Sorry to interrupt, it's interesting, because there are plenty of stands that actually have organic local kale. And there are stands that they also have local kale, but it is sprayed. And that's the thing. I mean, people choose to buy sprayed kale. I know that kale needs to be organic. Well, aim for kale to be organic because it's on the list of heavily absorbed pesticides food. Because there's a list. You go online and you look up dirty dozen, dirty or clean dozen. Very simple. And it will actually tell you what to buy organic or not. You don't need to buy organic onions because they don't absorb. You don't need to buy organic avocados. They don't absorb. Kale does. So kale needs to be clean. I call it clean.
So from my point of view, as I've moved towards more clean eating and just seen a huge transformation in just how I feel, I'm kind of kicking age to the curb.
No, you're not.
I don't feel like age is a problem.
That's a thing. That is amazing.
I feel healthier and younger because I'm choosing to eat such healthy food, and I've never had so much energy. It's actually a little scary.
And that's exactly the logo I have started. Healthy cells, happy cells. And you are in charge. You don't need, per se, you don't need the doctor to be in charge of your cells. The steps are very, very simple. How did you start your morning? I know how Karen started her morning. She prayed. I know that. I started my morning actually meditating with my animals. Then we go and we have a nutritionally dense breakfast. And breakfast is the most important part of the day, and we will talk about it later. I'll explain to you why. Then I will get a little bit more medicinal and connected to hormones. I'm sure everybody heard about insulin and everybody heard about cortisol. But we need to align them, and that's where breakfast comes as the most important part of the day to follow our what is called diurnal pattern of living. Yeah, here is a doctor's.
That's a big word.
Big word. Big word. Big word.
Explain that for some of
It's
us
a
who
wave.
aren't quite as.
It's a wave. So we wake up with a high cortisol. That's diurnal. That's a morning cortisol. But the high morning cortisol has to coincide with high insulin. That's how it is. So if we have high insulin, we need to eat. Because if we don't eat, that insulin is going to find some food or starts making wrong signals to the cells. However, why we propagate not to eat at night? Because same thing, your cortisol diurnal, two parts to the day. So cortisol is low. And then you start eating at night.
And you eat garbage.
So you're eating garbage, you're eating processed food, you're eating some whatever. And then, boom, your insulin goes up because you're eating, you need your insulin. Your cortisol is down. What does cortisol need to do? I'm sorry, I'm following insulin. Boom, it goes up. What happens? You don't sleep. You don't sleep, you don't rest, you're out of balance. Yeah. The very important thing about our cells is to balance them. That's where all these things come in play. It's not just, I'm taking supplements. No, it's not about this. It's about how do we live our lives.
So, as we choose healthy, clean foods, it impacts aging, it impacts our energy levels, it impacts all of us. How would one get started? It can be very overwhelming, like the big word that you just used. I might not understand that, or the next person might not.
Very small steps.
What's the small steps?
Very
Get
small
me started
steps.
if I wasn't already a
right.
convert of yours.
Right. So, let's start minimizing processed foods. Let's start thinking about grandparents. It doesn't matter of your ancestry. Every ancestral grandparents ate from the ground, from the trees, and from what they were able to catch. Let's start doing these things. So morning, let's say do breakfast, let's say with eggs. But try to get free-range eggs. Try to get the eggs from the chickens that are actually running and eating their rocks. And then pay attention to the color of the yolk. It's going to put a smile on your face. And then maybe start, so simple steps, more of the colorful foods. Try to make your plate looking like a rainbow. So your plate looks yum. You are eating with your eyes first. You don't want bland. You want what is this? The box with the noodles and yellow stuff, KNC or something.
Oh, Kraft Dinner?
Kraft Dinner.
Do you eat that?
No,
me
I don't
neither.
even know how to pronounce it. But that's what I'm saying. It's bland.
Yes,
it looks like gray.
Yeah.
But no, when you take a plate with a beautiful free-range egg and an orange or yellow vibrant yolk.
And peppers?
Peppers, red, yellow, orange, purple cabbage, blueberries, whatever blueberries you can buy still, greens, organic spinach, or you go to the market, anything. Guys, money is not an issue. Okay, fine, I will try to push it to the farmer's market, whatever store you go. Every store has gazillion variety of the produce. And you cannot afford the organic. Don't afford the organic. Just buy produce. Don't buy the boxes. Don't buy somebody else's food. No, you buy the salad. You buy fennel, you buy broccoli, you buy we have every food possible, and these are your colors. And then you want dessert, get yourself a piece of dark chocolate.
I know.
Dark chocolate.
Did not like dark chocolate. I love dark chocolate now. How does that happen? How does a taste bud change over time?
Taste bud changes.
It's amazing.
The healthier we start eating, the taste bud adjusts. And
it's
your
like,
body
how in
starts.
the world did I think that was good before?
Your
It's
body
not.
starts craving because the body feels better.
Yeah. So what I hear you saying, health and vitality is actually within the reach of every person.
Everybody.
No
And
matter
move.
how, if people have illnesses,
No matter.
obviously.
No matter. You don't need to hit the gym and start pushing the iron to whatever 300 pounds. You don't need to get your muscles guns. But if you cannot, get out, walk. You cannot run for 30 minutes, walk for 5 minutes. Because 5 minutes a day is better than 0 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day is better than 5 minutes a day, but you got to exercise daily of different variety. And then, yes, hit the gym. But hit the gym to your capacity. Don't look at anybody else. Do not look unless you want to say hi. And actually, these big guys are very, very friendly, and they will help you with equipment.
That's good. That's awesome. So, making health attainable for all of us. I think we're running close to the end of time here, though I could sit and talk to you for another hour on this because I think it's so exciting. And I think for today's, I really wanted us to experience this is for everyone, but the byproduct is so great. And I'll go back just a little over a year and a half ago. I went to see a doctor, and they were like, this is just what happens when you're aging. You start to feel crappy, and, maybe you should go see someone and just talk about to accept that. And when I heard those words, I was like, there is no way that this needs to be a norm, that basically the pinnacle of my life is behind me, and now everything is downhill from here. In fact, I recently heard from someone just 2 weeks ago that our 60s is our most productive year of a human's life. That made me feel like, wow, we're just getting started. We don't need to slow down. Obviously, to keep up with purpose and mission, I need health. And you need health, and so do people around us. It is attainable.
It is
Cole's noted for me.
It's very attainable, but and the thing is, I know you, and I see you, and I see that, let alone physical transformation, the energy, the vibrancy of you, and the smiles. It's like, no, you don't look 60s or whatever,
I'm not 60s
That's
yet.
what
It's coming.
No, like you don't even look 50, whatever.
I'm in my 50s with grandchildren.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's amazing. It is, but what happened is you did it on you. And you didn't do, per se, any drastic measures. You took responsibility and charge. And with very small steps, you did it. Nothing drastic. You didn't join Long Beach diet. You didn't go on some fancy whatever. No, very simple ways of commitment.
Clean eating, cut the process.
You committed to your health, and that's what it is. And I think that's exactly the mission of this podcast, trying to help you to commit to health.
It's never too late.
Oh, it's never too late.
No.
It is. I go to the gym and I see guys and ladies in their 80s, and oh boy, it's so it's inspiring.
I love it. You are inspiring to so many people. And when I first met you, you said you don't want to do the job that you do, which is diagnosing cancer. That's what you do.
I don't.
And you don't want to have to diagnose it. You want to prevent it. And I have seen that to be true from you, that you are educating people in prevention. That is beautiful.
I love what I do, don't get me wrong, and I'm pretty good at this.
You are very good.
However, the mission is
Health.
not to diagnose cancer. The mission is how to prevent it. And that's why, for me, basically, I'm teaching you not because, but I'm teaching you via learning. And learning health, I learn health all the time. And you get to the point where you want to share. You just want to hold, you don't want to hold it. You don't want to hold it.
It's a gift you give every day, and I love that. Thank you for giving me the gift.
But thank you for opening the doors and allowing me to have this podcast, because I am social media illiterate.
Don't say that. I think you have quite a following, my friend.
having that ability and having a friend who is helping and allowing, obviously on professional things, that's a gift, because that is going to open so many minds. Yeah. Because that podcast hopefully is going to go viral, and people are going to share, and people will just like to join us So they are inspired, and then it's like, yes, I need it. So what can I eat? Where can I go? Where can I walk? How long do I walk? What kind of water do I drink? What kind of supplements do I take?
It's a journey.
It's a journey.
When we started talking about podcasting and you came to see us a couple of weeks ago, what you were saying was applicable to some of our staff who heard it, and they were so excited about this because whether they're in their 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s, men or women, what you were saying applied to the relevance of their lives. And unfortunately, you came on Donut Friday, and some of us just walk by that, which is fine. We can have your donuts, but throw some kale in for lunch.
But the most again, guys, kindness is no. I mean, of course, we're all judge, but no, I will not judge you, and I will not tell you, blah blah. I will teach you what I think. But as I say, but it's your choice. Which hand is going to reach to what? It's your decision. So there you go.
So
thank you so much.
Thank you
so
for
much. Kind and love. Thank you so much. And thank you for opening your doors. Guys, till next podcast, I hope to hear you and see you all.